Hey there. Let's talk about a day in the life. How would you visually illustrate a slice of someone's life? Well, first of all, you need to find someone where you could actually follow them for an extended amount of time. And what you would do is photograph them doing throughout the day doing certain activities. So, for example, resting, sleeping, that's actually an activity. Uh, you're trying to, again, uh, document someone's day, and in the course of the day, someone could be taking a nap, someone could be eating in the course of the day, etc. Right? They may not be necessarily interesting activities, so you would document them anyways, and you can pick and choose later on of what you want to actually uh, display or represent for that person's day in the life. But the whole point is you're kind of sort of a fly on the wall whenever you can, but you're following this person around throughout their entire day and taking pictures of them throughout their day. The images are going to be chronologically sequenced in terms of its presentation. Um, I want to note to you that you don't necessarily have to photograph everything all in one day. Uh, you could take them out of sequence because of just scheduling and timing, but when you finally present it in your sequential order that you choose, it'll appear to as if it looks like it's an entire day. Okay, so what I recommend is plan um, what events that you want to cover ahead of time. So let's take something really basic like meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Maybe you want to at least plan for those occasions. And it's not necessarily them eating it, maybe they're preparing it, cooking it, or they're making food for somebody. Okay? Those are examples of something you could think of ahead of time of what you want to cover. Or if you know this person's going to do some activity, they're going to go walk a dog in the park, or they're going to go do something athletic, go work outside, or do something to that matter. Think about those activities and plan to shoot them. So, for example, the person that's going about to go out for a run, well, before they even do that, you're taking a picture of them maybe putting on their shoes or lacing up their sneakers, right? Then you take a picture of them as they're heading out the door, and then maybe an action shot while they're actually running. Okay, those are all examples and all sequenced examples of these events happening in a person's life. So if you're going to create a shot list here, like for example, waking up, the alarm clock shot, you can take a picture of the alarm clock. Even it tells us a whole lot of information what time that person is waking up, and maybe even it gives us a glimpse of what their bedroom may look like. It's just an example. If you want to do this, you can take a picture of the person brushing their teeth if they let you do that. Cooking a meal, as I said, and any kind of activities throughout the day that um, that could be interesting and maybe not if they're sitting around watching TV. I mean, you certainly should take a picture of that because that's what they're doing, and that's part of their day, right? Or they're attending a Zoom class. How would you frame that? How would you visually illustrate that, right? And then at the end, maybe a night shot or a sunset shot, um, the silhouette shot is in this example. This is kind of referring to the storytelling slides previous to this slide about ending with, like, say, a silhouette. Doesn't have to end that way. It's you pick the appropriate ending, right? So here's some tips on uh, creating a day in the life series. Um, find the best angles that can capture the activity that's happening in the scene. This involves composition. Think about your compositional elements, framing, rule of thirds, leading lines, all of those types of things. Look for candid moments whenever possible. Yes, the person that you're following knows you're there, but sometimes they may forget for a split second. They're interacting with somebody else, or they're doing something, and you're catching them at that moment. Keep your eyes on the action, right? Um, photograph everything that's happening in front of you. Don't check your image until everything has happened right in front of you. Sometimes you may run into these gems where the person you're following um, runs into someone they haven't seen in a while, and then they're hugging and they're very expressive emotionally. Then you could photograph all of that, right? Until that initial meeting is over. Then go ahead and check your exposure. And since you have control of this, right? We're not necessarily doing photojournalism here. I'll take a little bit of liberty on this. You are following someone, they know you're following them on purpose, and if you wanted them to repeat an action, go ahead and have them do it again, right? If you're trying to capture them flipping a pancake uh, on a pan, you want to get a freezing action shot of the pancake frozen in the air as they're trying to flip it, have them repeat it. That's totally fine for this particular assignment. Use the storytelling techniques discussed in these previous slides for your direction and content of each image. And in the assignment itself, you'll be given like a list of type of photographs that I would like for you to achieve, and that will actually help you with your storytelling. And you'll see that in the assignment itself. So as I said, not all of the image must be taken on the same day. You could certainly break it up and then piece them together sequentially. So for example, you're photographing a day in the life of your roommate, and your roommate's giving you clearance that you could, certainly go ahead and just do what you can to follow me and photograph my day. So maybe the first day of shooting, you're going to start at lunchtime, and you're photographing your roommate ordering takeout, whether they're ordering takeout online, on the computer, maybe they're on their phone, or they're actually going to drive and pick something up. Okay. Maybe your roommate's got a Zoom class they have to attend, or they have to have a work meeting. You can photograph that. They're going to go out for a run, or they're going to walk the dog, photograph that particular event. And that's day one, right? It's sort of like from noon to like mid to late afternoon. Day two, it's possible that you're going to start in the morning, right? Now you're kind of going a little bit earlier, out of sequence. Whatever they're cooking in the morning, prepping. Maybe they have certain routines when they wake up in the morning. If they're exercising at home, or if they got to go do their morning walk, etc. And then maybe you end that same day two. Maybe you end, then you go fast forward. You say, well, I'm going to skip lunch in the afternoon because I already got that on day one. So you say, well, I'll meet up with you later, and then I want to see what you're going to photograph you later on as you get back from work. And so now you're photographing them as they're relaxing, they're ending their day. Maybe they're sitting in front of the TV set, or they're in their room, lights are off possibly, and then all you see is the glow from their cell phone illuminating their face, right? That could be an interesting shot too as well. So while they were shot out of sequence, you could certainly sequence them together as a final presentation. So taking day two, the breakfast morning portion, you're putting that at the very beginning, and then day one's shots in the middle, and then back to day two's shots towards the end, and you're piecing all of them together as your day in the life, right? I want to show you some examples of this being used for like this website. There's this website called HispanicExecutive.com, and they have this day in the life photo essays of these individuals they chose to spotlight. So let's take a look at, let's say, a day in the life of Carlos Gaitan. And photographer Sandy Noto followed Zuco's executive, chef, and owner Carlos Gaitan around his adopted hometown of Chicago. The first Mexican chef to earn a Michelin star and a former Top Chef contestant, Gaitan is determined to serve delicious, authentic food to everyone in the Chicago community, no matter their circumstances. So now your assignment it's not necessary for you to do this write-up. It's just purely the images. The images are going to tell the story themselves. So just letting you know that. But it's kind of nice that they have this little write-up on this website to give you sort of like context. So here's the very first shot of the day, and it was shot Even the photographer in this article even went ahead and displayed the time. Again, you don't have to do this labeling. Your images are going to tell the story themselves. So it's 8:15 a.m. He's getting his coffee. Then he's now Gaetan charges up the French press coffee before heading to his restaurant, uh, Zuko, located in Chicago's Gold Coast neighborhood. So that was that shot. Now here's the description of this 9 a.m. shot. Gaetan looks through it and confirms the list of ingredients he needs to purchase for the restaurant before it opens. Okay. 9:30 a.m. Good food is for everyone. Throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, Gaetan has been spending his mornings prepping and packing meals for donation through the World Central Kitchen. As of July 2020, more than 19 million fresh meals have been prepared by chefs like Gaetan and distributed to communities in need by the WCK. Pretty cool. Look at the kind of shots that's happening here. This is a wide-angled shot. It's an interior, seeing a lot of the environment here. It's almost an environmental portrait. He's not facing the camera. This is more of like he's doing his thing, but photographer chose to shoot it wide to give you an idea of where he is. Now you see him going out and getting his ingredients for the meals for his restaurant for that evening. Um, Now he's arranging the drop-offs for various meal packages he put together for the World's Central Kitchen. And then he's like he's at a local restaurant depot to pick up sugar, mascarpone, meat, and then other ingredients that he and his team need at his restaurant. And there he is back at the restaurant. Now he's in the kitchen with other staff members, and look at the framing here, right? Look at you got like he's framed between two staff, and actually you have this sort of this sort of a large pot as an element as a also in the frame. It's a blurred out because we're focused on him all the way to the back. So this kind of gives you a sense of place, even though the fact that it's right in front of us, it's blurred out. We kind of understand where we are because of the way it looks, even if it's not in focus and the scene. It's a nicely composed shot, right? It ends at 2 p.m. So that was day in the life for this particular person. I'd like you to go a little longer on your assignment, but this is an example of how you could follow somebody and photograph them throughout their day. Okay? Good luck with this assignment. It's pretty fun.